Hello, everyone, and good evening. My name is Odubukola Adewiyi, and I'm the CEO of Supreme Education Foundation Schools. I'm always excited every Friday evening on Supreme Leverage. And so it's another week, and I'm excited to be here. And I know that you're excited to be with us this week. If you've missed our past episodes, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook so that you can catch up on all our past episodes. I tell you, it is interesting. There is so much that we've learned. I can't wait. There is so much to explore. Last week we explored and educate last week, and we learned so much on it. So, like we do every week, we always go to the news. But before we go to the news, I will give you a little inclination of what we are doing this week. And it's happy feet and happy shoes. And if you follow me on Instagram, you must have seen my post when I said maybe it's all about dancing. I don't know if you've seen that movie, Happy Feet, with the penguin. So maybe we are going to be dancing today on Supreme Leverage. Hold on, listen to the news, and then we will get back to that. Over to you, Oluwakemi Adesanya, one of our passionate teachers at Supreme Education Foundation School. Kemi, are you ready to dance today?
I am.
It's happy feet, happy shoes. Do you have your dancing shoes on? Because I've got mine here.
My feet are so ready to dance, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. And this is Supreme News. Here's the news across Nigeria. SEP School. Supreme Education Foundation School is one of the leading schools where you can get the best learning experience. We create unique learning spaces for our children, and our philosophy is to provide learning without barriers at its peak. Join us today and you'll be glad you did. Federal government approved new HIV/AIDS test kit. The federal government says it has approved the use of a new HIV/AIDS test kit, Wonderful Rapid Test Kit, as part of its efforts to reduce the prevalence of the disease in the country. National Coordinator, National AIDS STI Control Program, Dr. Akwado Ikazu, said it can be used as a confirmatory test because of its high specification. She noted that the national HIV testing algorithms were developed from the round of evaluation conducted and that all test kits were antibody-based. Nigerian Railway Corporation to resume Lagos-Ogun routes with increased train fares. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has announced the resumption of Lagos-Ogun mass transit train services from Monday after 5 months of suspension to contain the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Jerry Oche, the district manager, NRC Lagos, made the announcement in a statement on Thursday by Dr. Adekomaya, and he said NRC is set to resume its mass transit train services on Monday, September 14, following the guidelines set by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control for the reopening of rail transportation within established parameters. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has made important changes to delivery of services on its mass transit trains. WAEC conducts exams in Chibok School after 6 years. The West African Examination Council has successfully conducted the 2020 Senior School Certificate Examination in senior secondary schools in Chibok in Borno 6 years after closure due to insurgency. General Brigadier Abdul Kafila Ibrahim, Acting General Officer Commanding 7th Division, Nigerian Army, disclosed this while playing host to members of Education in Emergency Working Group Nigeria. We recall that the Chibok school were closed after 200 students were adopted by the Boko Haram terrorists from the government girls' secondary school in 2014. Nigerian lady makes country proud, gets commissioned as second lieutenant in United States Army. A Nigerian lady identified as Ruth Inomina has joined other citizens making the country proud abroad as she recently was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. And in recent times, Nigerians abroad have been making the country proud through their achievements in the fields of endeavor. And only terminal students of tertiary institutions will resume September 14, says Lagos State. As tertiary institutions in Lagos State reopen Monday, September 14, the Lagos State government says final year students will go back to the classrooms before students on other levels. The state governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has subsequently announced the reopening of schools in the state, starting with tertiary institutions on September 14, 2020. And here's the world news. Black Lives Matter logo to be replaced on Premier League shirts. Premier League chief says Black Lives Matter badges on team shirts will be replaced by patches promoting the organization's own anti-discrimination campaign. Premier League chief executive, Mr. Richard Masters, said, "We, our clubs, players, and match officials have a long-standing commitment to tackling discrimination." And I'll end with the quote for the day. Success begins with a decision. I am Oluwakemi Adesanya, and over to you, Mrs. Adeoye.
Thank you, Kevin, for that. Success does begin with a decision. It doesn't just land on your step. Well done for that. And cheers to Ruth for doing Nigeria proud. And we're so happy that WAEC is back at Chibok. And so back to our guest for today. And she's no other person but Miss Nike Peters. Oh, drums rolling for Miss Nike Peters. She is the visionary behind the Piros Company, a unique organization that seeks to dominate the footwear industry. She's a pattern designer, a shoemaker, a masseuse, and a food care enthusiast. I mean, that is different. That is really unique. Her passion is for the feet, and for the feet and shoes has driven her to create platforms where she can express her knowledge and pursuit as she empowers individuals towards getting the best footwear experience, as well as grooming happy and healthy feet. She has worked and served with various organizations as well as groundbreaking projects and events across the country, thereby increasing her experience in education and business consulting. Nike Peters, popularly called Piros, you can all see that behind her, continues to deliver solutions around the feet anchored on knowledge, accessories, fashion, and style. She seeks to be a voice that would shape and possibly change the landscape of the fit business and industry in Africa and beyond. It is such a pleasure to have you with us this evening. Thank you so much. So before I get into meet you now, so when I saw a topic, happy shoes and happy feet, I said, oh, we are probably going to be dancing this Friday. Now you remember the happy feet, the penguins, the movie. So I said, so maybe we are going to be dancing like that, flapping our legs together. So I had my dancing shoes on. But then I'm beginning to see what it's all about. Please tell us a bit about Piros. What is Piros about?
Okay, Piros is actually an organization that dwells in the business of the feet. Okay, so our byline is called For the Love of the Feet. Over the years, we've come to discover and realize that a lot of people pay so much attention to every other part of their body and pay very little attention to their feet. Whereas our feet plays a huge and major role in our everyday life. I mean, our entire body weight is carried by our feet. We walk every day, we drive with our feet, we climb the stairs, we run, we do quite a number of things with our feet. So at the end of the day, we should actually pay attention to them and take care of them. That way they are healthy, they are happy. You know, when there's something wrong with your feet, your entire body feels it.
Yes.
And when mobility is affected, you can't do anything. You are probably helpless. You are in one spot, you cannot go about your everyday activities, which is why it is very important to have happy feet. And one of the ways to have a happy feet is to have happy shoes. Okay, so here at Piros, we provide everything that your feet needs to stay happy and healthy. So I'm talking about all kinds of footwears for both male and female, for various,
Whoa,
because there are different shoes for different events, professions, and occasions. Okay.
very
We
true.
also provide shoe care and foot care items. Items
Okay.
to help your shoes last even longer, to expand the lifespan of your shoes, and of course, foot care items to help groom a healthy feet. One of the things that we also do is we provide services around the feet, like the foot massage and pedicure. These are things that people, just very few percentage of people actually get to take out time to do this. And it's very, very important for the entire body, the entire well-being of your body. We also provide consultation services. Should in case you want to change your shoe closet, we are
Really?
so we can work with your personality, we would work with your profession, and as well as your pockets to make sure your feet
Mm,
have everything that your feet needs. Okay, and finally,
wow.
we also do trainings at Piros. We have trainings and courses that helps people who are interested in learning how to make shoes, and of course, people who are willing to go into the business of the feet.
Wow, very, very interesting. I mean, you're calling my attention to little things that we do take for granted. And they're not even little things. They end up really becoming very big things because really, truly, if you don't take care of your feet, I mean, that's what you stand on, that's what you walk on. You use it every day. It's not that part of the body that you can barely use. You use it every day, every hour, every minute. So it is worthwhile to do take good cognizance of your shoes. So I want to ask is the term happy. What brought about that? I mean, it's good to take care of your shoes, but why would you think of the word then using happy shoes, happy feet, and then the name Piros as well? Is it another name for shoes? How did you come about the name Piros as well? Because I kept thinking about that as well.
Okay, thank you, ma, for that question. I'll start with the name Piros. Piros is actually an adaptation of my name. I
Oh,
don't share Peters. So I had this one friend back in the university that used to call me Piros. She just felt like my name was very tush. It's English.
Nika
That's
Peters. Mm.
exactly. So she used to call me Piros, and in some way, it kind of stuck that all through our university, and even up till now, I have a lot of
Ooh.
call me Piros. So it's special to me, and
Oh.
I'm also very passionate about the feet because growing up as a child, I had a lot of issues with my feet. First of all, I did not like my toes, the shape of my toes. I felt they looked really ugly. I also suffered from sweaty feet. Okay,
Okay.
and that caused me to have a lot of athlete's foot
Mm.
every single time. It was always reoccurring. There was a time that one of my toes almost got chopped off. So that
Ooh.
really brought my attention to paying extra care, and showing love to my feet. So that's why we decided to call Piros, the organization Piros, because I love that name. It means a lot to me, and I love my feet. So
Excellent.
Piros is all about love,
Oh,
showing love to your feet.
to your
Yes.
feet. Fantastic.
So
I'm glad our audience already started coming in. Please, as you know, on Supreme Leverage, we try to touch every area of your life, just the same way we do with the children at school, so that they have an holistic learning. So the same way we make sure that what we are giving out to you, it's holistic and it covers every area of your life. So today it's happy shoes, happy feet, and we need to take care of our feet. One of the things I also saw, Nike, about not taking good care of your feet, is when we wear tight shoes or we're not really sure about our sizes, we begin to have bunions um, and that begins, in fact, after it makes the feet really ugly. It's very uncomfortable even when you wear comfortable shoes. How do we deal with things like that? Because I think people also have this confusion about shoe sizes. Is sometimes it fluctuates. Please talk to us a little bit about that.
okay, before I answer that question, I would like to dwell a bit on the term happy shoes. Okay, so it's very important that in order for your feet to be happy and healthy, your shoes also have to be happy. So when I say happy, not necessarily that you can see them smiling, but you can almost tell even when you see them, because happiness is a state. Okay, so when
Mm,
you see the state of the shoe, you can easily tell if the shoe is looking happy or not. And I
not.
have an acronym to best describe this happy. So happy is
Okay.
HAPPY.
Mm-hmm.
H means it is hot free, meaning that hot as in HURT. You don't
Mm,
feel any form of pain when you put them on. In
mm,
other words, it's your right size. Over the
mm.
years, I've come across people who just pick shoes that just look good on them, and it's not necessarily their size. Most times, um, tight shoes, they look cute and attractive, but in the long run, they damage your feet. So it's very important that for your shoes to be happy, one of the key things to look for is to make sure that it is your right size. So when you put them on, there's this feeling of comfort, free of pain, free of that feeling of it. Once you feel uncomfortable in them, then it is not your size, or it is not suited, it's not
For you.
suitable rather
For
for
you.
your feet. The A is alternated. For your shoes to be happy, you need to constantly alternate them. I'm totally
Mm,
against people who wear the same pair of shoes twice in a row. Like you wear it today, Monday, and on Tuesday you're putting on that same shoe. No,
okay.
every shoe deserves to be alternated, meaning that they require time to air out, from the pressure that it
Mm,
has gone through the entire day. They need time to dry out. They need time to also come back to their shape, because when you get to wear
okay.
them very often every day, they tend to wear out even faster, and then they could be ill
Mm.
in the long run for your feet.
Oh.
Yes. P is to be polished. A happy shoe must look well polished. Okay, so you have to
Mm,
take care of them, clean them after every use, and then stack them properly. When you're about to put them on, you make sure that they are looking polished, so that they are they're looking attractive, and appealing to anyone that gets to see them. The second P is preserved. A happy shoe is well preserved. I see some people and their shoe culture, it's really terrible. They get back at the end of the day and they just fling, one leg is here, the other leg of the shoe is somewhere else. No, your
mm,
shoes have to be well stored and preserved. That way they will serve you well. They will serve your feet well. You will enjoy your money. It will last even
mm,
longer. Yes, that's also very important. And the why is yourself. Your shoes have to make you feel like yourself. Okay, so you must feel comfortable wearing them. You must feel confident, so you are able to go about your everyday activities without worrying about your shoes because they are tight, or they are hurting, or they are almost damaged or something. So it's very, very important. And when your shoes are happy, your feet will definitely be happy, because you'll be comfortable. You understand? You'll be creative
yes.
and more productive with your everyday activities. So a lot of times I've met people who say, I put on a size, I wear 43, 44, and 45. And I'm like, what's that? No, it has to be one size. And like, because sometimes I wear 43 and sometimes I wear 45 and I'm like, no. So one of the good things about us here at Piros is that whenever you come into our store, we actually measure your feet. So
Okay.
we don't trust you. We want to be sure, because we are the experts. So we measure your feet there and there, and then we'll send you your exact shoe size, so that whenever you're
Shoe
going
size.
shopping, you can pick the exact size for your shoe. Because that way you don't have issues with it, and then your feet stays healthy and happy.
Okay. Thank you for all the comments that are coming in. Okozi Loretta, thank you. You're always with us every week. I can see some people dropping in. Mrs. Omogene, I see this is an eye opener. Well done. Thank you so much for that. Um, I Akiola, thank you for that. Well done to us. Thank you so much for all the shout outs coming in. So you mentioned something that was quite key, and that is the issue of shoe culture. In Nigeria, do we have shoe culture at all? Because I'm sure most of our audiences will agree that everybody just removes their shoes and put it by the side. Is it also necessary? Because sometimes when we want to buy shoes, we find out that when they are bringing out the box of a brand new shoe, it's stuffed inside. They stuff in the shoes with some tissue paper, soft tissue papers to keep the shape, I suppose. So after you begin to wear your shoes, is this something necessary as part of one shoe's culture to continue? Is it necessary or it's no longer necessary to keep
It's
stuffing
actually
in?
necessary. Thank you, Ma. It's absolutely necessary actually because you want to maintain and retain the shape of the shoe for as long as you wear them. So it's very important that after use you either use newspaper, old newspaper, you can stuff them into the shoes. They get to absorb the wetness and any dew that the shoe has accumulated because of the pressure of you wearing it over the course of the day.
Mm,
So yes, and then it also helps retain the shape of the shoe. Another option is you can get a shoe tree or a shoe horn. All these are
mm,
available right in our store and in various supermarkets where you can actually purchase them. So after every use, you clean your shoe and then you place the shoe tree or the shoe horn to keep it in its exact shape. A lot of Nigerians actually don't do that. I mean, they consider it stressful. Who has that
yes.
time? I
Throw
can
the shoe
always
to the
buy.
side.
Yes, I can
I'll
always
buy
buy
another
a
one.
new one when I'm tired. I'll buy another one.
Come on.
But no, this is one habit that we must all learn as individuals.
Mm,
It forms who we are, and it's an habit that we would even apply to every other area of our lives. You know, the way you take care of your
of your
things
shoes.
generally.
Mm,
Yes, it just shows the kind of person that you are. You are more diligent and dutiful, even to every other area that you're actually focused on. So it's very important to have a shoe culture. We have a lot of materials and resources that we're actually pushing out there, you know, to further empower people more. Because the truth is that a lot of people don't know. If they know,
mm,
they know better. So we are
very
trying to
true. Very
empower
true.
people with as much information so that they can begin to build shoe habits. I have an article on building shoe habits, you know, so that way once they know they can better take care of their shoes because the long run is that it has an impact on your feet.
On your
Your
feet,
shoes
yes.
protect your feet. Your shoes support and they give stability to your feet. So you have to take care of them. It is very,
Yeah.
very, very
And also in the long run, it affects your postures, the way you
exactly
stand, which
the
also have an
alignment of
impact
your
on your
body.
spine and all
Mhm.
of that. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
it is important. The issue, when you mentioned about the issue of shoe size as well, that some will tell you their shoe size is from 43 to 45. So I need you to clarify something because there are sometimes that it seems as if it's because of the the different makers. So they will tell you if I buy my shoes from this person or from this particular store, if I wear a size 40, it seems okay. But in some other stores, I need to wear a 41. The style of the shoes, is that what affects the size, or we just don't know our size?
Actually, we don't know our sizes. We're not
Okay.
exactly sure of our sizes because most of these shoes that we make, they come in molds already that are
Mm,
measured. So once we take your measurements, we work with that measurement to form the exact mold so that at the end of the day, it's a perfect fit. But a lot of times, because leather also gets to expand slightly. So once some people can just squeeze in their feet into a pair of shoes and then it fits in, they just automatically consider it as their size. Whereas it is not true. It is not true. Absolutely not true. So
oh,
everybody needs to know the exact measurements of their feet. So that way they are able to pick the exact shoe.
the exact shoe. So the style or anything does not affect that.
Not necessarily,
Okay.
no.
Really, I think we all need to visit Purios and get our shoe size done. Well done.
Yes.
This is such a fantastic initiative in Nigeria. Moloni, I agree with that. Thank you so much, Purios, for doing this for us. So, as a footwear entrepreneur, what is your counsel to students, individuals, and parents who desire to explore the world of vocational skills?
Thank you, Ma, for that question. For me, I believe that there's so much to gain with vocational skills, both as a child and as an adult. Because with vocational skills, it helps you to find something that you are able to do with your hands, apart from the academics, which a lot of us focus on, especially in
Mm,
schools. Vocational skills helps to broaden your creativity, and then it gives this form of fulfillment and satisfaction, and funny enough, it's something that can also earn you income. So you're not just getting fulfillment and satisfaction, you probably also make money from vocational skills. So I believe that it's very important, especially for children. I encourage as many parents to allow expose their children to this area, because it's knowledge as well. It's knowledge,
Yes, it's
not
true.
just academic. Yes, so children need to start learning how to be creative, because making shoes is all about creativity.
Is
We
this?
first
It is.
imagine it in the head, and then we make it come alive. So that way you are helping to even enhance their creativity and
It's-
imagination, and then that way they can decide for themselves if they want to build a career out of it,
Well,
or
that's
not,
true.
or just make it something that is of a hobby. But
Okay.
in the long run, it is very important to delve into vocational skills. Even for adults, we have, funny enough, we are currently making plans. Hopefully by next week, our information should be out there on some of the courses that we have for children, for teenagers, for youth, and even adults
Interesting.
who are interested in going into the business of shoemaking. This is something that it's a skill that once you acquire, you can never go wrong with it. It's something that
Wow.
you cannot
Interesting.
unlearn it. You know it,
Mm,
you know it
it
forever.
becomes
And guess
yours.
what? If your shoe is faulty, you can always just pick your oars. It's like a needle with thread, and then you just sew it and you fix it there and there on the spot. It also helps you to save money, because every time you won't need to start looking for a shoemaker.
So when you were going to start this,
Yes.
so coming back to our typical Nigerian parents, they did not say, Nike, shoemaker. Hey, that's what you want to do. You didn't get any of that. They were just like, oh, that's good. Very good girl. Yes, you can go and start making shoes. Did you have any of that? Why going into shoemaking? Did you get oppositions, or was this just smooth sail?
Well, along the line, yes, it became smooth, but at first it was absurd. A lot of people didn't think it was going to be profitable, because I studied microbiology. And they're
Ooh.
like, microbiology, shoemaker, where is it coming from? It just didn't make sense to them. But I knew what I wanted. And at the end of the day, when they saw the things that I was able to come up with, it just kind of inspired them that, wow, this is, I mean, from being a microbiologist to a shoemaker. And funny
Shoemaker.
enough, there's a bit of correlation, because when you
Really?
talk about food ailments, most of them are caused by microorganisms. So I can
Okay.
still, in a way, tie them to my course of study. But majorly, I love making shoes. I love making shoes. And
Interesting.
I believe it makes people much happier and healthier.
I believe so too. We just had a question now. Can you put that back up? From Okozi Loretta, and she said, you said it's not proper to wear a particular shoe every day. So correct me if I'm wrong, please. Does it have impact to school? Because yes, because we have that with school shoes. I mean, mom or dad just buys the same shoe and then they wear it every day to school. Do you think it makes an impact? Do you think is it advisable?
The truth is that over a period of time, the shoe gets to wear out faster when you wear them every day. It's also not healthy for the feet, even though they are children. Like I said, while I was growing up, I think I was about 10, between 8 and 10, I can't exactly remember, was when I suffered severely from athlete's foot. And it was also because I always wore covered shoes with socks to school every single day. And after school we would have lessons. So I
Mm,
practically was wearing that same shoe like almost up to like 18 hours.
a day, and only to pick it up in the morning again of the following day to wear it back
Exactly.
to school. I totally understand that. I mean, Wokozi Loretta, thank you very much for that question. That was really hard because there are little things that we take for granted. The child wears it to school on Monday, and wears it from 8 o'clock, gets back home about 4, 5 o'clock in the evening, only to pick it up on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the same shoe, and then they wear it for the whole term. So it's not even just about the comfort of the child, and it's not about the wear and tear of the shoe, but also about the health of the child's feet as well. So I think it's advisable. I mean, she would advise better when she comes back on screen now. I think, therefore, it is advisable that you alternate the shoes every day. So to buy like maybe 2 pairs. I know that at Supreme, you also get to wear your sports shoe at least once a week on sports day. So if they have 2 pairs, then it means 2 times a week for their school shoes. Alternatively, so let's say Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Friday. Then on Thursday, they get to wear the sports shoe, meaning 3 pairs of shoes. And I think that would just be fantastic and decent enough. I mean, everybody would agree with me that this is enlightening. There are little things that we take for granted. We just assume that we are fine wearing the same pairs of shoes, or it's just okay not to have shoe culture. So from now on, we need to start putting into practice our shoe culture, polishing our shoes, cleaning our shoes, stuffing it with old newspaper. Actually, for me, I thought just stuffing it with old newspaper is to keep the shape of my shoes. But it's fantastic to know that it's not just about the shape of the shoes now, it's also about it taking out moisture from the shoes. Welcome back, Piros. I'm saying that I've learned something quite key, that it's not just about the shape of my shoes now, about my stuffing it with newspaper. It's also about it taking out moisture. So I'm not going to be lazy about it anymore, because sometimes I say, it's very good quality shoes. It should be fine. Just put it back in the box. So now I think I'll be diligent now to stuff it properly. So you were answering the question of Okozi Loretta. I have given my layman's point of view on it while you were off, but I think you should just tidy it up and advise her better.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. So you see, our shoes actually have, they absorb the direct impact of the ground when we step on the ground. The shoes help to protect our feet, and then they absorb the impact instead of having it directly on our feet. I mean, that's one of the major reasons why we put shoes. So when you wear them over a period of time, it wears out faster. And then before you know it, your feet starts to feel the impact of the ground, as opposed to your shoe, your padded shoe being serving as a cushion, for your feet. So your own feet begins to feel the direct impact on the ground, and over a time, it causes your find even children.
I think she's back.
Yes. So you have children who end up having tired feet, and then this strains the muscles of the feet. It strains the muscles of the feet. It causes stress. Even though they are children, they start experiencing it. At that age, they might not really be able to express how they feel, but that is what is happening. You understand? That's what they're actually going through. They might not be able to express it well to their parents, but their feet begins to get stressed and tired because the muscles are being strained. There's constant impact on the ground. So that's why it's always good to have shoes that you can alternate. I usually recommend at least 2, at least. If you can afford more, it's always
clap for me. I got it. I passed that exam. So while you were not in, I recommended 2 as well.
Yes, at least 2.
At least 2. That is good. Thank you. And I said because at Supreme, we have a day dedicated to sports. So I said if they have 2 shoes and that they could alternate between the 4, they have their 3rd pair, the sports one to wear on the 5th day, which just makes it perfect for the term. So yes, so I passed that exam. Good. I deserve a sticker like the children. Thank you, Piros, for that. So for a growing business right in Nigeria here, how have you coped because how well do we embrace our own Nigerian products? How have you been able to scale through? How well have you been able to raise awareness?
Thank you very much, ma'am. So yes, we have a culture in this part of the world whereby we don't trust our local brands. And one of the key reasons is because they do not come up with quality items. That's the
Mm,
truth. A lot of times people just focus on something cheap that would move really fast. So they will just mass produce as many as possible, make it cheap, and then people buy. And because some people also don't understand the effect of quality, there's actually a market for it. So they get to sell, and that's why they keep on producing low quality products.
mm,
But the very few percentage of people who appreciate quality items get to go all out for quality stuffs. So yes, I had that issue too growing as a business. There were cases of people saying, no, you produce them here. No, don't bother. I ship in my shoes from UK, from Turkey,
yeah.
from this, from that. It took a while. But because we make use of quality items here at Piros, our leather is 100% original. Okay. And because we are not just producing shoes for the sake of producing, we produce shoes because we understand the importance and the impact it has on the feet. So we are
Mm,
also selling shoes. We're selling shoes that are healthy for the feet, that will help to
mm,
promote the physical health of the feet. So over the years, people have come to understand, at least most of the clients that we have, gradually you just have to build trust in the brand. It all
very
started from,
true.
okay, let's see what you have, or let me just try one. Make one pair of slippers from me. And then from there, it started growing. And that's how people have come to know us. And once people know your brand for quality, they will always
That's
come back.
it.
Will
That's
always come
it.
back.
That's it. Very true. That's it. Okozi said, Loretta said, "Wow, never knew we had such a fantastic shoemaking company and can actually enjoy all the consultation and offers mentioned." Very true. Big ups, yes, to Piros. Very true. That is, very enlightening. So, how affordable are your shoes? Because that they are made there. One of the concerns, of course, of Nigerians again is, oh, then it will be too expensive, and then how affordable can you say this is?
I think they are actually very, very affordable. At least most of our customers can attest to that. They are really very, for the
Fantastic.
kind of quality that we produce, they are very, very
Okay.
affordable.
Excellent. So they are affordable, they are accessible and acceptable by all. We look forward to patronizing Puros as well, and getting good discounts. So we will say we are supreme. So special self discount on periods. It's fantastic. I'm really amazed at what you're doing. I think it is a very laudable cause, not just giving selling shoes for the sake of just selling shoes, but good quality shoes, healthy shoes that has an impact on us. I mean, I used to make a joke with my mom. We would say, if you don't buy good shoes, then you're not wearing the shoe. The shoe
Hmm.
begins to wear you, and then we would laugh about that. So say, "Oh, did you buy a shoe you're wearing, or the shoe is going to wear you?" And it's important to always have that in mind. That it's good quality shoes is something to really work on. Thank you to Ogushuba Yobami Baba today. Says we should keep up the good work. Thank you. We're enjoying all of this. Thank you all so much. You are the ones that keeps us flying here because you keep watching, you send us fantastic comments, and it keeps us going. Thank you. Remember to like, remember to share, and remember to subscribe to I Am Supreme. It keeps us going. Thank you so much for that. So how do you then keep the balance between quality and quantity? Because as well, I believe that as a business, it is important that you are making profits as well. So how are you able to do that, to balance quality and quantity?
Okay, thank you, Ma, for that question. First of all, it is important to know that quality should always be the benchmark for quantity. Because like I said earlier, once people know you for quality, they will always come back.
Very
So as
true.
opposed to some other shoemakers who mass produce and make them very cheap of low quality, because if you have to produce something, quality is not cheap actually. It requires a lot. Yes, both human resources and capital
Very
resources.
true.
It requires a lot. So a lot of people try to avoid that part. So they settle for low quality, they produce a lot, and then they just sell and throw out into the market. And like I said, they do have their buyers, but eventually their buyers get to buy once and never
And
return
they are never return. Very
because
true.
they eventually don't have a good experience. But with us at Piros, we always focus on quality. It's always very important. We
You,
don't mind the quantity. Know that once you can have an experience with us, you will definitely come back. We are so
it's
confident
about
about
the
that.
quality.
Exactly. Quality always comes first. It always comes first. Hello?
Experience. Yes, very true.
Hello?
Very true. Very true. You should be. You're doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Mr. Itai, for that. It's quite impressive to see that such as you, Periods, is putting on something of this magnitude. Well done, well done. Thank you, Rutibi, for that. It's amazing that you are doing this, and it's good. Yes, and yes, Rotimi is also saying that quality definitely precedes quantity. So well done for that. We were talking about vocation at one point as well, and you were talking about the importance and how the children can benefit so much as well from vocations, which I agree with you. It has come in handy for you as well. So at what point did you get into shoemaking? Was it after you had finished school, then you went to learn shoemaking? Was it while you were in school that you learned how to make shoes? How did you get it? Because it's not even a business that you find a lot of females in. So what prompted it as well? I'm curious now.
Okay, Ma, thank you very much for that question. First of all, while I
Okay,
was
I
in
think
school, I was, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? I can only hear myself.
yes, I
Okay,
can
let me
hear
just
you.
go on. Okay, so while I was in school, okay, while I was in school, I was more focused on my course of study, which was microbiology. As a matter of fact, I had no idea that I was going to be in this kind of business, the footwear industry. So, and even after school, for a few years, I got a job with an education consulting firm, and then that was my line of career for a very long time before I decided to go into shoemaking. And it was just one day I just thought about it. Like I said, I've actually always been passionate about my feet. Even while I was in school, I used to take care of my feet and my shoes. But then there was this morning that we're driving to work, and I just saw the name P Rose in my shoe, like a label, the shoe that I was wearing. That wasn't the shoe brand, but I kind of envisioned it, like, and then I just knew at that spot that okay, it seems like you're going to actually have a footwear business where you can actually make shoes that are designed to promote the health and the well-being of the feet. And that was how we started. So I knew that I had to first of all learn how to make shoes. I mean, this is not something I had knowledge of all the way. This is
Wow.
how I begin to start doing a lot of research. So I was doing a lot of research
That's
about feet, a lot of research about shoes, how they relate to each other, the impact of one on the other. And then I went to a vocational school as well. I went to learn how to actually make shoes. And then it was after that I decided to go into
That's absolutely inspirational.
So I went into the business of shoemaking from all the things that I have learned. And even up till now, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. You never stop learning. So there are always better ways of doing things. There are always more creative ways, more designs and patterns that have never been discovered. It is always in the process of you learning and mastering the skill that you have that you actually get better. So even though I'm an expert, I am still learning because there are always new things waiting to be discovered, even in the footwear industry. Hello, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Hello, hello. I need to know if you can hear me. Oh dear. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so that's how I found myself in the footwear industry, and it has been fun ever since then because I'm learning new things, I'm discovering new things, and I'm actually even at the point where I want to share my knowledge and my skill, and that is why we have courses that we've come up with. We're even looking at starting a club, a shoemaking club, where schools, where we can get into schools and start um, building the culture with the children, the young children, and even students, teenagers, whereby they can come together and explore their creativity with leather. There's so much that can be achieved with leather. So we have an introduction to leather works. With leather, you can make shoes, you can make bags, you can make belts, you can make wallets, you can make all sorts of things. You can make crafts and art, leather works. Okay, so we are out there with our courses and our trainings. There'll be more information on them by next week. So please follow P-Rose on all of our social media platforms so that you can have access to all of this information. If you're interested in leather works, if you're interested in shoemaking, we are the go-to person. You can learn from us. You can build skills in that area. And most of all, you can make income. You can make and create a business out of the footwear industry. Okay, I'm still not sure if everybody can hear me. Hello? Hello? Okay.
I think you kind of nailed those. Hello, hello, Nike. Can you hear me now?
Okay. I can hear.
Hello,
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely. I can
It's
hear you
this
100%.
very poor service this evening.
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Well done. Well done. Thank you very much for that. That's very enlightening. I think it's very inspirational. Fantastic. Thank you so much. We are coming to the end of this, and we also have a very poor network, which is something that already happens on Supreme Leverage. Piros, we've learned so much. We would like to have you share your address with us. How can we get to Piros? Where is Piros located? So that we can come and get happy shoes.
Okay, thank you, Ma. So Piros is located at number 51
So as
Okpebi
we
Road.
round up, can you please share with us your address? Where is Piros
Okay,
located?
Piros is located at number 51 Okpebi Road. We are just adjacent the Spa Shopping Mall in Ikeja, Lagos. 51 Okpebi Road, Ikeja, Lagos. You can follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are the P Rose Company. On Instagram and Twitter, it's P Rose shop at Piro's Food Shop. We also have a YouTube channel called Walking High with Piros. Walking as in WALKING. Walking High with Piros. I don't know if you got that. I think there's some sort of
Interesting evening. We've learned so much. We Miss Nike, it's been an awesome evening with you and very, very poor network. This doesn't get to happen on Supreme Leverage, but I think it's also because you're special and we have to get our feet happy. And so the powers that be is contending with that. It's been an enlightening sessions. We've learned that the little things that we take for granted about her shoes can be corrected right here, right there in Nigeria, without us having to travel far, right? So it's like that's Yoruba data says that what we are looking for in Sokoto is right there in our Sokoto, right here. So it's fantastic. We are indeed excited. Thank you for sharing the location with us, so everybody knows that it's just in Okpebi. It's not far away. And then you can also just go back to their Facebook page, check them up on IG, so that if somehow the address are skipped over, then just Piros is so easy to remember. I mean, that's such a fantastic name that you've seen. I'm also very touched about how you got the inspiration to start. You know, you look into your shoes and then you just saw it. So the power of sight, the power of vision coming to life. It's been awesome. Thank you so much. We need to have you back on Supreme Leverage to catch up more, to know more, to learn more. We hope we can bring some of our students sometime in future to come and learn a bit about it, to come and do some holiday jobs with you and learn the vocation of shoemaking, because we do know that vocation is also one of those things that really needs to come back into education. There's so many things that we need to have right here in our country, in Nigeria, without having to travel so far for those things. Thank you so much for doing such a fantastic job. Oposi Loretta, thank you very much. Every week you're with us. She said this is very awesome. Informative session as always. Thanks, Seth and Piros. God bless. Thank you so much. It's awesome. And so, like every week, the time runs by so fast. We've come to the head of Supreme Leverage this week. See us next week at same time, 5 o'clock on Fridays. I remain your host, Olubukola Adewoye, and see you next week. Thank you again very much, Nike, for being with us. I'm excited to come to Piros now and get my shoes. And I still get to do my dance. Since I said happy shoes, happy feet, you still get to do your dance, because when you are comfortable in your shoes, you are able to dance. You dance better. You walk without having to frown or squeeze your face. You're all smiles. So yes, definitely. I'm still coming to do my dance with you. So once I get my shoes, and I can be your muse, because by the time I'm dancing, people know that these shoes are very comfortable, right? Thank you so much, Nike. God bless you. Well done. See you next week, everyone, on Supreme Leverage. It's been a fantastic evening.